Hello, welcome back to episode 12. Today we're going to be covering instrument flight, which is going to be an area of operations for task A. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so for this one on instrument flight, pretty much all of this is going to be covered in your actual flying portion of the check ride. And the reason why is because talking through it is nice on the ground, but they're going to see if you truly understand how the controls work when you're in the air. But a really good way to kind of cover this section is going to be primarily in chapter 6 of the Instrument Flying Handbook. So that's what we're going to be going to do a quick skim of, and let's look at it. So for chapter 6, the section 1, we're first going to be looking at basically what are the learning methods, what performance methods are, and what supporting methods there are for the attitude of our aircraft. So let's look. Okay. So again, if you're first getting into this and maybe you have a little bit of time, I would definitely give chapter 6 a read. So the first thing we're going to get into is basically the attitude instrument flying uses control and performance method. So what is that? Well, if we go here, what our control is what immediately controls our power and our attitude indication. Our performance is basically what are the controls that are performing it. And so that's going to be our VSA, our airspeed, our altimeter. And then we have our navigation instruments. So that's obviously going to be, like the VOR, the GPS, the glide slope, the bearing, the CDI needle, all of those factors. And so what we're looking for is just to basically notice what it looks like for the aircraft to turn, climb, increase power, decrease power, descend, and etc. So when we're using this, we can really utilize this chapter to gain a full understanding of what these instruments are going to be looking like. So the first thing we're going to look at is our aircraft control during instrument flight. We want to know what the attitude control is going to look like, and it talks through that as well as our pitch, bank, and power. These are really important notes to know. Now, one thing we want to know is what our primary and our secondary or supporting methods are for our attitude instrument flying. So we have for our pitch control, we have our attitude, our altimeter, our VSI, and our airspeed indicator. And so that's going to primarily be what we use for our pitch attitude and what we're going to be looking at. And then we'll go into our bank controls. So up here for our bank controls, our instruments are going to be including our attitude, our heading, our magnetic compass, and our turn coordinator. So again, just read through this, make sure you have a good understanding of knowing, okay, what controls are